Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher and I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm on a limited budget, so I wanted to demonstrate it was possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank. So the beers that I review on this channel usually come in around the $2 price range, and such is the case with today's selection. I paid $1.99 for this 12-ounce can of Citralights Single Hop Pale Ale from Knee Deep Brewing Company. This has an ABV of 4.5, has an ABV of 5.5. Typically, American Pale Ales come in between 4.5 and 6.2. It has 30 IBUs. Typically, American Pale Ales come in between 30 and 50 IBUs. So it's about average for ABV and on the lower end for the IBUs. Described here by the brewer, light and bright with big aroma, you are going to love Citralight's Pale Ale. A shimmering golden hue and subtle biscuit-like malt gives way to crisp citrus hop aroma. This citra-hopped Pale Ale is your new go-to beer. And let's see, they are out of Auburn, California. So I'm not exactly certain where that is. They do have the independent, there we go, independent craft brewer logo there, that little bottle that you see upside down. There is some argument as to whether what that really means. I personally believe in the value of the independent craft labels, so I'm not going to get into all the particulars of that. This beer is 4 months old, keeping it well within range for an American Pale Ale. Um, the deal with American Pale Ales, once again, like most beers that came from Great Britain, the Pale Ale was, once it got to America, it was hopped more than it was in the UK, and that's basically the invention of the American Pale Ale. You take the British recipe and you add more hops. Typically, American Pale Ales come in a little more balanced than IPAs. IPAs have that super strong hoppiness. American Pale Ales have well, it describes it as biscuity and even malty. It's supposed to be a good balance between hops and malt. And so, quick notes about this amongst the reviewing community. I have no friends on Untappd who have reviewed this beer yet. Only 1,929 of us on Untappd total have reviewed it, giving it a cumulative score of 3.63. Beer Advocate has only 12 rankings of this beer, with an average score of 3.65, cumulative score of 84, which on their scale is good. I personally have reviewed 5 different beers from Knee Deep Brewing, and my average score for them is 3.35. So there you have the ins and outs of that. And yeah, typically a lot of American pale ales are very hoppy. It's true, but as I said, the distinction between an American Pale Ale and American IPA is that you've got a better balance between malts and hops, as opposed to American IPAs, which are usually just very hop heavy. So there's not much more to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and crack this bad boy open. Going to be using my British pint glass. It occurred to me now that I can't use my Boston shaker glasses, since everybody says you can't use those to drink beer out of, that I don't really have any other pint glasses except my British pint. One that's exclusively just, designated as a pint glass. So I may have to go out and pick up a few more pint glasses of some variety, maybe a Nonic. I need a Nonic. I've been thinking I need a Nonic for a while now. And that's the one that has that strange little bubble out towards the top. Okay, guys, what you are seeing is actually a prettier color on camera than this beer is itself. It's very light, wispy yellow color. Could have described that as medium-low carbonation. There is some carbonation, but not a whole lot. Hey, that's not some bad lacing there. And the head seems to be fairly resilient. I don't see much in the way of bubble popping. I do see some nice lacing going on there. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. That's good. I'm going to give this a quick beard wipe, see what I come across. Hops is what I smelled, actually, more than anything. Going to stick my schnoz directly in, see what else I can endeavor. Very Citra hops is what it is. I mean, the beer itself is called Citralights. And boy, can you smell those Citra hops. I mean, big time, big time. I don't know Well, it did say single hop, and so that's why the citra hop smell is so strong, because there's no Chinook or Galaxy or any other type of hops added to it. All right, so now that heads down a little bit, but I'd still describe that as at least semi-resilient. And we've still got some pretty decent lacing on here, so I'm going to quit yapping my flap and do some drinking. Cheers. Mm. That's a really good combination of malt and hop. Let me first say it does have what I would describe as probably I'm going to describe it as a low mouthfeel. It's not particularly spiky, not particularly bitey. The alcohol burn is pretty much non-existent. I'm not really getting anything, even as it goes down the back of my throat. Sometimes you get those alcohol fumes that hit your nose afterwards. I'm not even getting that, so there's really no alcohol burn. And it's done a really good job of showcasing that citra hop, but they found just the right malt profile to not only balance out the citra hops, but really complement them too. I mean, not just offset them with uh, by tempering it with the maltiness, but actually, like I said, accenting and complementing the flavor of the hops. This is a really good American pale ale. I mean, I know we're only the second month into the year, but I gotta say that might be the best American pale ale that I've had all year long. So that is a really good beer. As I said, though, you are seeing a much prettier and much darker color than this is. It is a very light. Actually, what this looks like to me, honestly, is you ever get Mountain Dew and leave the ice in it and let it melt too long? Well, it looks like diluted Mountain Dew, basically, to me, is kind of what it looks like. Not quite as green as Mountain Dew, but that same sort of color profile. It's refreshing, it's crisp, it's I think honestly the review community has been a little too hard on this beer. I think the beer itself deserves a 4.0. It's going to get that extra 0.25 for coming in a can. So I'm going to be giving the Knee Deep Brewing Company's Citralights a 4.25. I don't have much more information about this beer because when I tried to go to their website, my security measures kept popping up and telling me, "No, don't go there. This is a bad site. This is a creepy site. Don't go here." So, I figure there's no point in paying all that money for those security measures if I'm going to ignore them when they tell me to stay away from a site. So I don't have any more information about them, but they are a California brewer, Knee Deep Brewing Company, and this is, I think, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the best American Pale Ale that I had for the year. In fact, at $1.99, I'm going to go ahead and label this as a as a special selection. I think it deserves to be a special selection. And I just realized I didn't give it a high enough score. I'm giving the beer a 4.25. It's getting that extra 0.25 for coming in a can, so I'm actually going to give this beer a 4.50. I think it's well deserving of that. Well, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.